Blessings, everyone. It's Jules and Leanne, and we are working with code number 6. So, DMT code 6 is connected to the Genome NAD plus serum, which obviously has the NAD in it, and it is really boosting mitochondrial health. I love this serum because it is actually our only product that actually has the ORMIUS in it. So it already has ORMIUS in the serum, and it also has the NAD and, of course, nano gold, which penetrates the product to the basal level of the skin so that the ORMUS is absorbing into your bloodstream, but also being penetrated into the cells and then working with that mitochondrial health so that your cells are boosting the mitochondrial health. But what it really is doing is it's boosting that energy, right? It's boosting the energy so the cell is dividing in the healthiest form.
Yes, and what I would like to add to that, I personally love this. For anybody who doesn't have a skincare regime and who's looking to explore what that could be like, this is the product that you should get because you don't need anything else. Everything is in it, and it's great for men. It's great for really anybody. It's non-oily, it has a very gender neutral scent to it, and it's loaded with all kinds of nutrients, and you can really feel the activation in the skin when you apply it. So I would invite anybody who is interested in exploring trying to nourish the skin to try this product because it really is hydrating and it just feels fantastic, and the cells definitely do feel alive.
I love that. And it is one of those ones where it's a serum, but it's a little bit heavier than a serum. So you really don't need to add a face cream on top of it, unless maybe you're in a really dry environment. Yeah, in the wintertime, we always want to kind of load up on our moisture as well. But it really does have moisture to it where a lot of serums don't. So that's kind of another plus too. It really is kind of the catch-all product. I actually just love this. I just holding it in my hand, I'm just like, I can feel my frequency raising, and the ORMUS is part of it. And people always ask, like, "How do I use the products? Like, what order?" And, honestly, you can't do it wrong. But this one just kind of takes away all the guessing because it can kind of take the place of all of them. So just putting it on after you cleanse, putting it on before you go to bed, you can even tap it around your eyes. Because of the ORMUS, it's really working on raising the frequency of your cells, just like it's raising my frequency just by holding the bottle right now.
100%. And I see the connection to the mitochondria and the healthy cell division. It does feel really powerful when you put it on, and this isn't for everybody. Let's just be real. You need, as you start to play in frequency, initially you may not feel like anything's happening, and as soon as you start to become more sensitive to it, then you do start to feel the power behind it. I think it's important to mention that just because you can't feel it, it is definitely 100% working. And I'm feeling the need for anybody who's curious about mitochondria and how it works and the cells. I feel like, Jules, you talked to me about, she did this beautiful comparison to a factory. I think we should go into it. I know it's kind of silly, but there are some people who would probably benefit from hearing it. So yeah, so I'll just start and then you can take over. But basically, the mitochondria, well, how she was explaining it was that it is like the power button or the switch that turns on the factory, and the factory is reproducing these healthy cells. And if that switch is off, then things, what I saw in my head were things starting to go off conveyor belts, and then things weren't produced in its highest frequency. So now I kind of am linking that to the cells of your skin and how important it is to really be mindful of what you're applying to your body, what you're putting inside of it, what you're putting on top of your skin. So I feel it's important to honor this vessel that we are in, because it's special.
I love that. And just getting this vision too of, sometimes we do things that, whether it's by choice or not by choice, that are going to be more stressful on not just our bodies, but our skin. And just even just being in the colder weather can be a little harder on your skin. And so it's going to have to work a little bit harder. So by adding something like the NAD serum, it's going to help that powerhouse boost out the energy, because what happens at it's called mitochondrial dysfunction, is that it stops giving enough energy to let the factory run as it should, if you will. And so it may just be giving part of the energy, and things are going a little bit slower in some areas, or things may be falling off the conveyor belts there, it's not filling up the bottles. So you can see all the different things that would happen in a factory. Well, the same thing is kind of happening with your cells. And so when you're adding NAD, it really helps boost that mitochondria function to a place where we want it to be. But the cool thing about mitochondria is that the cells that kind of have the dysfunction happening, when we give our cells the things it needs to boost it, like things like exercise and adding NAD to the skin, those kind of things, will let the ones that aren't functioning at the highest level kind of die off. And then the mitochondria that are really healthy and striving will be the ones that are used. And so you can see how that would bring a healthier glow. It would reduce wrinkles, all of the things that, of course, we want to have happen. But really, when you think about, well, what does that really mean? Well, we're proving that we have the ability to reverse aging by giving the cells what they need to be in the healthiest state.
When you're saying that, all I kept hearing over and over and over was autophagy for the skin.
Mm.
I don't know if there's any connection there, but it feels that way. It's like, okay, it's also like a releasing of things that don't serve you anymore, and just moving into a higher frequency, higher vibing life, really.
Love it. Well, let's go do that. Let's go
Yeah.
live vibe life. Key code number 6, the genome NAD plus serum. All right, love you guys.